It is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month in May. And Spurgeon, our good friend Lance the Silver Fox, Oliver, has written a lovely article about digesting federal crash statistics and motorcycles. Tell the ladies and gentlemen a little bit about that.
Right. So the recent National Highway Traffic Safety Administration release of 2022 crash statistics came out, and Lance kind of dove in and pulled out three main factors to consider. Now, you might be saying,
right? 2023?
No, this is 2022.
It's 2022?
And
right,
then there's estimates included in that for 2023. So
I apologize.
The data is always a little bit behind. So this is the newest data that was released. And really, Lance kind of digested it down into three main takeaways, which was drinking, distraction, and then he put it as dozers, but he has some speculation around larger vehicles on the road. So that's kind of what the article was about. The article is over on Common Tread. Drinking, distraction, dozers, three takeaways from the federal crash statistics, if you want to check the article out. And I think without any further ado, we can kind of just use our 3-minute time allotment for Not the News to jump right in and kind of discuss some of the things that were discussed, or discuss some of the things that Lance discussed in the article, is what I meant to say.
So, start the timer. First, I'd like to clarify the dozers, as you said. Lance is more talking like bro-dozers rather than bulldozers. Because one of the things he points out in the article is that in 1992, the best-selling car in the United States was a Ford Taurus. And he goes on to point out that if chances are if you get hit by a Ford Taurus, you'd kind of flip up onto the hood, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist or motorcyclist, whatever. In 2022, the best-selling car in the United States was a Ford F-Series pickup truck, which has a significantly taller hood and therefore makes it more dangerous for people that are not inside the vehicle. And this is something that has been talked about a lot in automotive and motorcycle journalism. But just a clarification there of Lance's use of the word dozer. And I think it's a fair call out. Yes, Birch?
Absolutely. I do think going back to the two main points that I found in the article to be the most interesting was drinking and riding. We are still our own worst enemy as motorcyclists. One of the leading cause of deaths amongst motorcyclists still ends up being inebriated riding. Whether it's I'm just going to stop and have a beer or whatever that turns into after the fact. So just keep that in mind if you're out there.
Yes.
Just ride your motorcycle and just separate the drinking aspect. But the one that I really wanted to touch on, and I actually got into this in the comment section a little bit on the article, was distracted driving. Where I currently moved to just outside of Philadelphia, I'm commuting up and down the old 476 turnpike, and the billboards now are anti-gaming billboards. And I had to do a little bit of research on this, but apparently a new trend of distracted driving is people that are playing video games on their cell phones or other devices whilst also driving a vehicle. I find that to be absurd. But that is now what we are up against as
there are
motorcyclists.
billboards on there are billboards that tell people not to do it.
I will try and safely get a photo of the billboard. I will pull my vehicle over and not use my phone while driving, but I'll see if I can get a picture of the billboard to include in this podcast.
Okay. That's ironic, right? Because billboards are already distractions on the road, and then there's a billboard being like, "Hey, if you're looking at this." Good.
You shouldn't be looking at that video game.
Yeah. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. But anyway, those are the call outs from Lance. There's obviously more information in the article if you go to commontread@revzilla.com. But yeah, I just reiterate the same thing. If you just don't drink, you save, statistically, you save yourself a lot of trouble. And by gosh, if you know someone who is playing a video game while they're driving, you need to tell them that they're part of the problem.
I think it was interesting because one of the commenters gets into it, and Lance hits on it a little bit in the article. Like, buzzer went off.
Okay, buzzer's off.
If you're drinking and driving, and a police officer pulls you over, they can test for that, right? But the distracted driving has been proven in some cases to be as dangerous as drinking and driving. But it's so much harder to prove, and that's what they're running into. And they kind of talked about that in the article, that unless a police officer pulls up alongside of you,
right,
and actually sees you doing the video game or the cell phone thing,
right,
it's a very hard statistic to prove.
Indeed. Well,
You know what gets me more than any of that is people driving in the passing lane. As somebody that has turned into a power commuter over the past few weeks, and I'm cruising at like, a comfortable 10 miles an hour over the speed limit in the left lane, and I'm coming up upon these people that are just parked there at 55 miles an hour.
Ugh.
Like, if I were a police officer, those are the tickets that I'd be writing from dawn until dusk. Anybody driving in the left lane. I think I do this like once a season on a Highside, Lowside. It is illegal. The left lane is for passing. If you are just driving, get in the right lane. If you are passing, get in the left lane and stay the hell out of my way. I'm done.
Also, while you're at it, stay off Spurgeon's lawn.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. There was a dog pooping in my yard the other day, and this is my new suburban hell. I had to go out there and wave a newspaper at him because they didn't clean it up. I don't mind if your dog goes to the bathroom in my yard, but like, do not. This is an entirely other podcast.
Probably the same people playing their video games while they're driving, letting people.
Don't even get me started.